All set to do business?
Speak your piece.
Well, how many head do you think you have this year?
I ain't counted reason.
Well, I make it about 62.
I expect you might be close.
Good. Well, my drive starts the end of the week. Little over 4,000 head. My trail riders won't mind taking your 62 along.
No.
I don't believe I heard you. Your hand don't bluff weather it. You can't get your cattle out of Texas. You'll come to me on your knees.
There's a few ranchers left in Texas who'd rather die on their feet than live on their knees.
Now, let's stop all this stupid talk. I'm going to give you...
We don't need you anymore, Mr. Grieve. Me and a dozen like me have hired our own trail boss. We're making our own drive. That ain't gonna stop me.
There isn't a trail boss in this country would dare go up against me.
He ain't from these parts. He's a major out of the Southern Cavalry. His name's Jeb Stone. He never heard of you, and he wouldn't care if he did.
A poor man's herd.
It's as good a name as any. Now get out of here, Mr. Grieve, and don't come back.
Not yet. I don't care whether you or your friends die on your knees or on your feet. But I'll see to it that your cattle die in Texas.
Grieve. You must be fair hard up for cattle to come this far from my herd.
You gonna sell them?
I'll decide in my own good time.
Well, that's what I call a real fine father and son relationship.
That fine relationship has been a long time in the making, Vance. You can be mighty proud of it.
Gant Coburn. The great Gant Coburn. Used to be the biggest spread in the north of Texas. And look at it now.
Someday you'll know, boy. Being rich or being poor doesn't count. It's a man's word that matters. And it's dirt on a man's name that blots it out to nothing.
The Fort Worth business is over and done with.
You said the same thing last spring in Dallas. Same the year before in Abilene, before that in Austin. Well, it's time you knew. There's no money left to buy you out of trouble again. So when you sneer at the shape of this spread, remember why. I've managed to keep the name of Coburn clear and clean. Don't forget this. Don't you ever forget it. Fort Worth was the last time. You understand?
Yeah, sure. Sure, I understand.
Open the door. There's no use coming any further, Grieve. I'm not selling out at your starvation prices.
Well, now, who said anything about starvation prices?
I know you.
Look, why don't you let the man make his offer?
Seems to me I know a mite about you, too, Mr. Coburn. And that desperation money you had to raise down in Fort Worth.
That's my business and my son's. Now state yours.
I'm ready to pay you $50 a head for your best 200 steers. $10,000.
Hey, 10,000.
I suspect there's something more in this than just falling in love with my herd.
Well, there just might be a little extra consideration.
Name it.
Well, maybe you haven't heard about it. But down in my section of the county, they're starting a poor man's herd. A man named Jeb Stone is the trail boss.
I see. So they're not selling to you this year?
Well, the point is, since you'll be thrown in with me, it's to your advantage as well as mine to see that this Jeb Stone doesn't get started on his drive. Now, if your son here was to join up with Stone, you see, he's having a hard time getting trail riders.
Make it clear.
Well, your boy, being unknown in my section of the county, he could join up with Stone and no questions asked. Now, the boy's got a hot temper and a fast gun. If anything was to happen to Jeb Stone before the drive got started, it'd just collapse.
That's all.
With or without your herd, it's worth $10,000 to me to stop that drive.
You come to me, Gant Coburn, and try to buy my son. Get off my land, Grieve.
$10,000.
You were listening. Listening hard.
Of course I was listening. We're on the verge of bankruptcy.
Because of you.
That's right. Now I can get us out.
When you killed in Fort Worth, that was in anger. In some sort of crazy rage. Now you listen when a man tries to buy your gun?
Look, all you do is throw it up to me about the thousands of dollars that I cost you. All right, now I can pay you that money back.
Get out of my sight.
Joins up with Jeb Stone has got plenty of trouble from Murray Grieve.
You guess that's the reason we got only 8 riders so far, Major?
Reckon that's right. I planned to 12, including the cook.
Still aiming to move out at dawn?
Well, the 2 days are lost already, Sarge. We got to beat the rains.
I'm looking for Jeb Stone.
You just found him, son.
Still need riders?
You familiar with trail riding?
I can handle a horse or a steer as good as any.
That gun, too?
Yeah, that may be.
Well, you know my name.
You want to call me, just yell Dusty.
All right, Dusty. Turn about. We'll meet you back at the basin.
Sure. It's good on cold nights like this.
Name of Cobb here.
Jeb Stone.
You still short of trail riders?
That's a mighty fine horse you got there, mister.
He knows his business.
Ever ride swing?
I've ridden point, drag, swing as much as most.
You're hired. Tie your horse up over there. Oh, Sarge. Serve the new hand some chow.
I can use it, Cookie.
Mister, I don't mind hashing, but I won't be called Cookie.
Sarge here is first my scout and drag rider, then cook.
Man cooks, I call him Cookie.
You and me crossed trails before?
Yeah, I crossed a few trails. I don't remember you. I thought I'd find you here.
So now you found me.
I want you to come back home.
I got no home.
As long as I live, you've got a home.
I guess I got sore the other day when you hit me. I heard there was a job open here, so I came and got it.
Nothing to do with Murray Grieve?
Now, you ought to know me better than that.
Yeah, I do. You're lying to me. It's a long time since I believed that innocent look.
You ever figure you're not believing me as part of the whole thing?
I don't even try to figure you anymore.
Then why don't you just leave me alone?
I can't leave you alone. Not till this drive gets started.
Well, it won't get started.
I don't do it, boy.
You know, they got a poker game here just about every night. It's a pretty easy place for a man to lose his temper.
This is your last chance. Your absolute last chance.
I had my last chance. Remember?
What's your mind on, Major?
I'd have thought Grieve had made his move by now. It don't feel good. We better put 3 men out with the herd tonight. 1 man on the remuda. Tell them to keep their eyes open. 2-hour shifts.
Shifting back and forth to a poker game?
Well, I just might take a hand myself.
Free time, men! Any of you cowards dare sit in on a little poker session?
Dogged if you ain't bluffing.
That Black Hill Sioux, he's too yeller to bluff. Don't sit in the game, Vance. Vance. Vance, I'm begging you.
A little late for that now, isn't it? You've been telling me and driving me all my life.
All right, boy. Any troubles you've got, you can lay on my shoulders. But come back home.
What for?
I'll change everything. I'll make you a partner. You can run the ranch.
I don't sit in on that game. There won't be any ranch to run.
Vance.
There we are. A fine hand, gentlemen. A fine hand. Thank you, one and all.
Major Stone, sir.
Mm-hmm.
Next time you deal yourself a winning hand, would you mind dealing it a little bit slower?
You just give me the count, Dusty. I'll be right in rhythm.
You seem to be plumb out of money, Dusty. And why don't I sit in while you just drift over and get some sleep?
I still got my saddle on my horse.
Maybe you ain't old enough to know, but ain't nobody gonna blame you for stopping in the middle of something just because you thought twice.
Well, I make it a matter of pride to finish when I start.
Yeah, other people do too, boy. Don't forget that.
How about you, Major Stone? You always finish what you start? Trail drives, for instance.
I generally manage.
I'll open. 4 bits.
This cowpoker's sure a yellow coward.
I'll play.
I'm out.
It's just you and me, boy.
I'll take 2.
I'll play these.
$1.
How much you got left?
I said my saddle.
It's worth 25. I'll raise you 25.
You're bluffing. I call you.
I never bluff. About anything. Well, I just about sees you through for tonight, Dusty.
Now, I'm not through with anything. I still got my horse, and it's my deal. How about you, Major Stone of the Confederate Army? You ever bluff about anything?
Well, when you're an officer in a cavalry outfit, you sometimes have to bluff. Just to stay alive.
Was that how you managed to stay alive? Or that is, if you ever were a major in anybody's army.
You got some reason to try and make me draw on you?
But now, I'll tell you, Major. I really don't care what you do.
I think it's time, young Dusty.
Hold it! You dote that last cat off the bottom.
Don't forget, I was there, too. The boy wasn't cheating.
But he dropped his hand to his gun.
He didn't draw. You find out anything about him?
Nothing. Except there's something between them. I swear, Major, I know Cobb. But I know him some other place. Some other time.
You don't need the gun on him. You killed a man, Cobb, and it was murder.
He was cheating.
Who was that boy? And who are you? I'm just trying to find a reason to make it easy on you. Can't you understand that?
He was cheating, so I shot him.
Take him away.
All right.
Nearest law is Dallas. 100 miles in the wrong direction. Take at least a week to get there and back. Then we'd hit rain before we got to the White River. Goodbye, herd.
How about just taking him along with us? We're bound to hit someplace with Law sooner or later.
Detail 2 men to watch him when we're short-handed already? No, Sarge. I gotta figure this one out. Get yourself some rest. I'll take over.
Thanks, Mr. Stone.
Mr. Cobb, you're not what you're pretending to be.
Is any man?
You're more than a wandering cowpoke, hiring out to the first outfit you come across. Now, what was between you and that boy? There's no law within 100 miles of here, and I haven't got 10 days to take you there and come back. There's only one thing I can do. I'll have to set up a trial right here tonight. The riders will be the jury. If you're convicted, you're gonna hang.
I didn't ask for a trial.
You're gonna get one.
I mean, I release you from running a trial. You think I'm guilty and want to hang me in the morning? Just let's take it the trial's already been held.
I can't do that.
You worried about your skin, Mr. Stone? You afraid what they might do to you if you hang me illegal?
That's not the point.
The point is you're as much a coward as any man in a lynch mob. Point is you act like a man, but you think like a coyote. Draw!
You wanted me to do that.
Thank you for coming to see me, Mr. Stone.
Try his hands.
No, Mr. Stone. I ain't gonna be any part of this.
All right, get out of here. Get back to the herd. Please, give me a way not to have to do this.
Why don't you get it done?
Sarge, see what that rider wants. It's a lonely thing to die like this, when a word might save you.
Dying's always lonely, Mr. Stone. Most times so is living. Living's a lonesome thing, and that's a fact.
The new hand wants to sign on it.
It's Harney.
Who's Harney?
Murray Greaves' gun.
You sure?
I heard the name before.
Well, now, what's one man gonna do to the herd?
They don't want the herd. They want to kill you.
That's crazy.
Listen, Stone. That was my own son I shot last night.
Your own son?
Because he was here to kill you.
Why would he want to kill me?
He was working for Murray Grieve. I gave him every chance right up to the last second. I couldn't let a Coburn become a hired killer.
Coburn? You Gant Coburn?
this is what you wanted? Well, I don't know whether I ever could have carried out that sentence.
Don't let anyone know the Coburn's died like this. My son, a hired killer.
In each man's heart, there's his own living and his own dying. In this man at our feet, not known to us by his real name, in this man's heart, there was a corner of pride, will, and strength that was his own destruction, his own executioner. And yet, for his courage and for the pride which brought him down, for these, we must wish him Godspeed on his journey.